Hey guys, it's Heather. I am back again. Today's video is going to be all about why me personally I want to get the vertical gastric sleeve or the gastric bypass surgery, which I'm still yet undecided on that, so on which one I'm going to get. This is going to be an open and honestly a very raw video. I'm probably going to reveal some of my deepest, darkest secrets of things that go on in my head, things that I think about while things are happening. I may tear up a little bit. I apologize in advance. But these are things that I have never told anyone before in my life, and I guess I feel like I can just say them on camera because I really don't know any of you personally who will be watching this. Not to say that I may not meet somebody or, chat with someone or gain a friend by having this channel, but these are just things that I've never told anyone, not my best friend, not my husband. So here's the thing. I decided to have the weight loss surgery because my husband had mentioned it. Now, you might think that that's a very odd reason, but me and my husband's relationship is a little funny. He kind of is the ruler of the household, and I kind of just follow along. I'm not saying that he controls every little thing that I do. It's not that. It's just I always feel like I need his approval on things. I usually don't go and just do something if he doesn't approve of it. So I have that in the back of my mind that I always need his approval. I don't know why that is. I think that stems down from my parents, because I was like that for the longest time with my mother. I always needed, even after I was married, I always needed my mother's approval. If my mother didn't approve, then I felt like I couldn't do it. Whatever it was that I was thinking of doing. So I kind of got away from that, and now it went on to my husband. I think it's because when I was younger, my mother was very strict and very controlling. So when I got out on my own, I still felt like I needed her to control all aspects of my life. My husband used to complain to me about that all the time, but now I've given that role to him. So I don't know. That's just my thing. I don't know. So I never ever thought that it would even be a prospect in my life to have the weight loss surgery. A couple of my friends have had it done. My sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, they've all had it done. And it wasn't until my husband was like, because I was complaining one night about being fat, which I normally don't do. Every once in a while it'll come out, and he was like, if you want to go get that surgery, I'll be behind you, whatever you want to do. So that kind of, I thought about it, but I thought about the surgery, when my friend went through it, but I thought there's no way that I would ever, first of all, qualify, and second of all, that he would agree to it. Never thought that my husband would agree to it, because he's always the type of person that, hard work pays off. So if you work really hard at it, it'll happen. So that's when it kind of all came up, and that's where it all stemmed from. Another reason why it made me really think about it is my husband always is complaining about how I'm a big snorer. He says that I sound like Chewbacca when I snore, and that I'm really, really loud, and we are avid campers, and we have a pop-up. And he said that when I sleep at night, I practically wake up the whole campground. You can hear me everywhere. I never used to be a huge snorer before I had my children, but after I had my kids, and of course everything got bigger, including my breasts got enormous, I feel like. I guess all that weight on my chest, I don't know, I'm a snorer. But they also said, my daughter had said to me that I sound really horrible when I sleep, and that it scares her. That I gasp for air, and I thrash around, and I gurgle. So that was huge for me. Like, I felt awful that I'm scaring my child when I sleep. And also, like, that's very taxing on your heart if, you know, they said I stopped breathing too. That taxes your heart, so it's not real good for you. So, you know, one of my things for the surgery is I do need to go and have a sleep study done, so I'm curious to see what exactly they're going to find, if I'm actually going to qualify for sleep apnea. So that's the main reason. I have always thought about the surgery. I feel like in some ways I may be a little bit depressed because I don't love myself. I don't like the way I look. I was a cheerleader in high school. I was a cheerleader like my whole life. From the time I was 8 years old. I had, you know, the best toe touch on the squad. I went to All-Stars my senior year. Like, when I walk down the hallway, I still feel inside like that 17-year-old girl. Like, I don't feel like I'm heavy and overweight. Like, I don't feel like I look, I guess. I do have one problem, that's my knee pain. My right knee, for some reason, gives me a lot of issues, and I get really stiff after sitting for so long, but I'm 41. I don't know if that's supposed to happen yet, or if that's something that happens in your 50s. So I just don't like the way that I look. I don't like looking in the mirror. I feel like when I look in the mirror, I don't recognize the person that's staring back at me. Like, I don't even know who this person is. Honestly. I do not even know who this person is. For the longest time, I didn't want to go anywhere. My husband, you know, always wants me to go out with his friends or, like, meet new people, like, when new people start at work, or, like, people that he knows from work that he wants to get together with. I never really wanted to go because I was always... I felt like he would be embarrassed by me because I was so fat and because of the way that I looked. I realized that that's my own thing, and I guess maybe I'm embarrassed for him. Maybe. He's never once said anything to me about my weight. You know, he always tells me that I'm fine the way I am. You know, he doesn't like real skinny, and I never was really skinny. I just wasn't like this. He doesn't like real skinny, so he never wants me to get real skinny. You know, he likes a little bit of curve, and he likes, you know, a little bit of, you know, cushion for the pushing, I guess you could say. So he's never once said anything, but I always felt like I was embarrassed for him because I just feel ugly. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. I know that that's my issue that I need to work through, and like I said, I would never tell this to anyone, so you all should feel a little privileged that I trust you with my innermost thoughts. The other thing is, I'm like obsessed with runners. I don't know, like people that love running, or like people that do like marathons. I just think that is like the coolest thing ever. And honestly, like, after I lose all this weight, I would love to like just run a marathon and finish. Like, there's no way that I would be able to do that now at this moment in time. God, I don't even think I couldn't even run a mile, I could tell you that. Like, I don't even know if I could run a half a mile. I'm so, like, out of it. But, like, that's my goal. I really would love to become a runner. I don't know what it is about it. I just am, from my perspective, I feel like that's, like, healthy. I don't know why. But for some reason, I've always been, like, obsessed with people that run, or like learning how to become a runner, or like what they do in their workouts. Like, I watch these people on the treadmill and they like run for like 30 minutes and I am just like in awe of them. I don't want to end up like my mother. My mother is overweight also. She just looks horrible. So I'm afraid that I'm getting towards that. My siblings are both like very thin. My brother is very fit and built and buff. He goes to the gym all the time. My sister has always been skinny. And this even stems back to my childhood. My sister was always the pretty one. Like, I was always so jealous of her, of how beautiful she is. She has these long hair with like spiral curls, and she was like short and like petite. And like, I don't know, like, I just feel like everyone always was like, oh, you know, she's so beautiful. And I was just like the ugly duckling sister, the older ugly duckling sister. Yeah, I mean, I sit here and like every night before I go to bed, I sit and think like, God, what are you going to look like after you lose this weight? Like, when you get down to what you're really supposed to weigh, you know, after all of this hard work pays off, what are you going to look like? I have no idea. Not a clue. I'm thinking maybe my dimple will be a little more prominent. I don't know. But I don't know. The smallest that I can remember, like honestly remember, would be high school, and I think I was in a size like 9, 10, well 10 or 11 probably pants. And honestly, if I could just get back down to that, I think I would be happy. If I could get smaller than that, like according to my height and my age, I believe they said that I'm supposed to be between 135 and 145. I had talked to the nutritionist when I went in for my first initial consultation, and she said that my ideal weight would probably be 150, which would bring my BMI down to, I think it was 25, which they say is a healthy BMI. So my goal weight should be 150. Honestly, when I was in high school, I weighed like, when I graduated high school, I weighed 172, and I was like always 172. I would fluctuate between 172 and 175 all the way up until I got pregnant. So even to get back to that will be a miracle. I don't know. So I apologize for my open and honesty. I hope it didn't bother too many people. Please leave me a comment. Please subscribe to my channel and keep watching for more updates. I hope you have a great day. Bye.